dietitian for around 21 years. I work in academia, I worked for several years in public health, and I also run a private practice. And I can honestly say that this work that I was a part of with Dilworth School would be up there as one of my most satisfying and most rewarding experiences I've had with the process of moving towards positive behaviour change. It wasn't a research project per se, it was more like a work in progress initiative that is still ongoing, so I'd like to tell you a little bit about that. Just to set the scene, Dilworth is the largest boys' boarding school in Auckland. It has 3 campuses. In Auckland itself, it has a junior campus and a senior campus, which caters for around just over 500 boys. And it also has a rural campus down in a beautiful setting, about an hour and a half, or about an hour and a quarter south of Auckland, at the old Hotel du Bin campus. And it's absolutely beautiful. All the boys, about 95 to 100 boys, stay in these little chalets, and they've got a lot of independence, and it's a great setting. I'd like to introduce you to these 2 champions. They are both chefs. On your right-hand side is Craig Johnston, and he is the chef down at the rural campus. And on your left is Robert MacDonald, who's the chef at the junior and the senior campus in Auckland. And the story goes something like this. A couple of years ago, Craig was intrigued at, or a big Craig, an overweight Craig, was intrigued at all the media attention that was given towards the reduced sugar, reduced carbohydrate, higher fat area or debate. And he decided to make contact and have some discussions around what the science was, what the practice was, what the issues were, and he decided to put it into practice. And a few months later, he made contact again, and he was about 17 kgs lighter. And he said that he found it really easy to follow, and he just thought that everything made sense to him, and he wanted to get together and talk about how we could move in this direction in Dilworth at the school. So we decided that we were going to run a little pilot or do some initial work at the rural campus. So we started with that school, and what we did was, first I went down to the school and I talked with the management team down there. I talked with the staff down there, gave them an opportunity to ask lots of questions around sugar reduction, around carbohydrate reduction, and around a higher, healthier fat content. And then we did some work with the students themselves, which was amazing. We gave them an opportunity to ask questions, to talk about what was going to be on the menu, what was going to disappear from the menu, and their thoughts around that. So this wasn't designed to be a weight loss study by any stretch. It was designed purely to improve the quality of the menu. It was a focus towards whole food in general, with a focus on reducing overall sugar in the menu. These chefs were under the impression that they were following healthy food guidelines, Ministry of Health guidelines, and they were giving their kids a healthy supply of food. So I just wanted to put this up to show you that weight, over 8 weeks of implementation, weight didn't change. Height increased a little bit, which meant that BMI came down slightly, and there was a slight reduction in waist circumference. Again, I just wanted to indicate that this wasn't a weight loss study. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to improve the quality. For those people who were or who could afford to lose a little bit of weight, did. So it had the desired effect. The senior campus and the junior campus people in Auckland were really intrigued at the outcomes of this. We did focus groups with the boys, and as I said, Craig is an absolute champion. I went down to eat dinner with the school, and when the boys take their dinner up to the kitchen, Craig talks to them about if they enjoyed the meal, what they liked, what they didn't like, made notes, and then changed the meal accordingly and where appropriate. So a real full whole school experience there. Then with the senior and the junior campus, what we did was a similar thing. So again, I was invited to go and talk to the management team. There was a lot of skepticism, and rightly so. So again, we talked around the science, we talked around the practice, we talked around the history of the health of our country, where we were and where we're going. And again, had an opportunity to talk to the staff as well. Luckily, working at AUT, I got access to students who was looking at doing work placements. So the students actually went into the classes and talked to the Dilworth students about the science around it, and talked around different fuels for exercise, and again had a full school experience. This is just an idea of what the old menu versus what the new menu looked like. Again, just to illustrate, when people see me, they automatically think LCHF, low carb, healthy fat. I'm going to remove every ounce of carbohydrate from everywhere and load it up with fat. And this is just to indicate that that's not how it was at Dilworth at all. The total carbohydrate intake came down a little bit. Total sugar came down. What was interesting was that their old diet, which they assumed was healthy, provided them with 23% of their total energy as sugar, which was outrageous, really. The beauty about this project was that it coincided with the World Health Organization changing threshold of their sugar recommendations. So while we did want to ideally get it under 10%. We just did what we could, and again, it's a work in progress. We will continue to reduce the sugar as we go. Of course, this is just a hypothesis, well, not a hypothesis, it's a case study of a few of the boys, and we mocked up a diet for an older boy and a younger boy on the old diet and the new diet. So of course, some boys will be eating a lot less than this, and some boys will be eating a lot more. This is just an overall view of the menu. What we did practically was something like this. So a lot less of the sugary drinks, and a lot less of these items which are coming into morning teas, afternoon teas, and desserts. I find it interesting that in a lot of boarding schools, there's always morning tea, and there's always afternoon tea, and there's always dessert. And it might be because the main meals don't have enough fat or protein in them to keep them full. Anyhow, so there was a lot less of those things at morning and afternoon tea. There was a lot less white bread. In fact, there was minimal white bread when we finished up. There was, of course, still whole grain bread, but we decreased the frequency with which they got the white bread, the whole grain bread. So instead of breakfast, lunch and dinner and freedom of quantities, there were limits in that area. There were different quality cereals, and there was less cereal and bread-based breakfast, and more of other healthier type of breakfast. Less canned fruit and syrup, and less, pasta and rice, and more of other things. Less low-fat sweetened yogurts. And this is another conference for another day, but less industrial seed oils with high omega-6 content. More of this, more water, more of this. We actually went towards an unflavoured yogurt and used natural full fruits for the carbohydrate intake and for the sweetness. A lot more vegetables in general, and a lot more starchy vegetables. So we took away some of the carbohydrate from the packaged processed pastas and rice and crackers, and added more starchy vegetables. A lot more of this for snacks, so cheese and nuts and seeds and chia seed puddings and avocado. The chef, as I said, he was a champion, and I'll say that again, he was an absolute champion and used his initiative and his imagination to create amazing food. A lot more eggs, and this was an opportunity where the boys were able to cook their own eggs in their little units for breakfast. So again, showing them some cooking skills, which is great. Omelettes and scrambled eggs for breakfast. And again, another day, but more olive oil use and more use of coconut products and butter instead of the seed oils. So take-home messages from me. The first one is you need a champion. I mean, we know this stuff, but once you find your champion in a school or an organisation setting, half the work is done. You just need a support. The second point is small steps. You can get there in the end. And the third one is the buy-in, and I think the beauty about working with Dilworth was that it was a full school and community experience. The management were involved, the staff were involved, the students were involved, the parents were involved. And I think because everyone had buy-in to this amazing initiative, it worked really well. Since the media coverage that we've got on this, I've been contacted by 3 different organisations. One, a facility for troubled children in Auckland, 2, a boarding school in Napier, and 3, a Spirit of Adventure organisation in Auckland, and they all want to alter their menus to reduce the sugar. So the message is getting through, even if it is slowly. Thank you.